Imagine you are walking down the street and somebody swing by in a supercar. And then they come out and they're dressed super cool. They're flexing $80,000 watches and jewelry and blah, blah, blah. And you would go to them and ask, are you the son of a very wealthy person? Sounds weird, right? But trust me, I receive this kind of question continuously. Whenever I demo something that costs a lot of money, someone will come out on my YouTube channel or in Instagram and it will ask me, how can you afford that? Are you rich by family? You win a lottery? And nobody actually think I work for that, like everybody else. So money is a very triggering thing. I am guilty to own a lot of very expensive things. I love beautiful objects, but guess what? I always worked, and I worked my entire life like everybody else out there to afford what I have. So I thought that time is ripe to just talk about this topic, money, how I can sustain myself in the music business, and give you some advice. Of course, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. This is my personal experience. I will share what I do. I will share where my income come from, but each one is different. So each one will have a different story. And also, I am no famous person. I'm not famous YouTuber. So the money that I do is enough for me to survive, but I'm definitely not rich. So the way I afford all of these things come with savings, a lot of money, and living below my meanings. And of course, now I have the chance to collaborate with brands, and so a lot of stuff comes for free. That is not really free, because I will have them to shoot video for them and do a collaboration. So from your point of view, might seem that this is just paradise life. I get everything, I have all the toys. And back in the day, I was the same. I was watching that other YouTubers or other musicians and was like, oh my God, I would love to have all of these tools, all of these toys and be happy. But this kind of life, this kind of line of job come with a lot of other issue and problems. So this is just not rose e fiori, as we would say in Italy, flowers and rose. There's a lot of ups and downs. But let me first break it down how I make my living. So until a couple of years ago, I was a photographer. I was having a very good career in the photography business, doing way much more money than I'm doing now. I could live in New York, which is one of the most expensive city in the world, and I was having a lot of fun, and I couldn't save a lot back in that city. But anyway, I could afford to have a higher lifestyle, we can say. I decided to move into music a couple of years ago, and I went full-time after that. And so I had to build little by little a source of income. It was very hard for me to think to become an artist and live off just art, and still that would be impossible and would put a lot of pressure in making music. And I try to keep the music making, my artist profile as Oora, separate from the content maker. Not that I dislike or like more one or the other. To me is the same. We are all content maker. Artists to me are content maker. We produce things. If the things are good or art, that's not really for us to say. I kinda believe, but this is a bigger topic that I don't wanna talk about now. But anyway, my first things was like I grew my following on Instagram, which was kinda, and is still kinda pointless in a money perspective. Instagram, I go pretty good in that, and I cannot monetize anything. So Instagram pay me zero. I do thousands and thousands of views every day, but that bring zero money. What does bring is like collaboration, credibility. So for me, that was the start point. I start building a community there. I start building a name, And from that point on, I had to decide where can I move now this credibility. And it's not easy that you have 20,000 followers on Instagram, then they will go boom on YouTube or any other platform you decide to work. No, it's really complicated to move people from platform A to platform B. So I decided to start a YouTube right after. And YouTube was a good idea. But if I would have to start again, I would put all of my effort in YouTube rather than Instagram. Why? YouTube allows you to monetize. So the first way you monetize after you reach a certain amount of followers, I think 1,000 followers, it's with the ads. Now the ads is very little money. When a video does 1 million view, it's 4,000 euro, $4,000, something like that. So consider that my videos in a year do 1 million of views, something like that. So you can imagine that from YouTube ads, I can get 5,000, 6,000 a year. Very little and very complex, because I am more of a niche YouTuber. There's not a lot of people coming in, so it's really hard to think I'm gonna sustain myself with just what YouTube gives me. What YouTube was useful though is building another community and start putting out videos like this one, educational video, because my plan was to move to Patreon. When people start sensing that I can teach, I can share interesting thing, then they will move to Patreon. So after 6 months of YouTube, things were going nice. I get 10,000 followers pretty fast, and I decided it's time for opening a Patreon. Patreon right now is where I do the bulk of my income. So I don't have a lot of Patreons. I have like 120 more or less, and I thank them a lot because they are the people that support me the best. And the bad and good with Patreon is like there's a lot of people signing in, and then they get what they want and then they cancel the subscription. So I think since the beginning I had 500 people coming in and out, and then coming back and then coming out again. So it's hard to keep your subscriber, and there's someone that is there since day one, which you have my heart, guys. Thank you very much. And so on Patreon, what I do, it's really changed. Could be around 1,000 a month, sometime more, sometime less, but it's steady since a couple of years. It's not a lot of money. Depends on where you live. 1,000 a month. It's very little in some place. In some other place, like my hometown in Tuscany, you can survive with just 1,000 a month. So it's kind of a lot of work in a way that I have to produce material, I have to produce sample, I have to give people that supports me back. At the same time, the people that has been there since day one are the people that would support me even if probably I would stop to produce exclusive content every single week. So I find out that there's a lot of people out there that have a good heart and believe in you and they want to help you. So Patreon has been one of the best platforms because I can get money and keep working and give back to them in a way or another. So YouTube ads, Patreon, then it comes, let me go in order, Bandcamp. Bandcamp is when I sell my albums. It can be a few thousand a year, depends on how much you release. I have, usually I release a couple of 2 or 3 albums a year, could be some single, and even in that case, you can do a good amount of money. Again, it depends where you live, what are your expectations. But that's another things that I work with, and then like some album could raise like $2,000-3,000 in a year, so it could be another good source of income. Basically, what I'm trying to say, you have to compound everything, and it's just like a lot of small things that get together and in the end give you a salary, a living. Then another very good way to go get some money is the affiliate link. Actually, it could be the second after Patreon, because actually sometimes it's more than Patreon. I work with two shops at the moment, Perfect Circuit in USA and Thoman in Europe. And affiliate link, what are those? Everybody can have it, and then there's difference on the percentage that they give you basing on your following or famous you are, whatever. But it could range from a 4% to a 10% of every sale. For example, you click on the link down below, so do it now, buy the most expensive thing, and you'll see how it works. Anyway, I'm joking. You buy something, you pay the same exact amount, but the shop will give a percentage to me because I drive interested in that particular thing. And so sometime I could sell I don't know, Model 1, it costs $3,000 and I have 8% out of that, so it's like good money, to almost $300 that come back to me. And that once you have a lot of videos up there in the YouTube and a lot of link, there's a constant things that happen. People click on those links and it brings a steady income. To be honest, it really goes ups and down, but it always been the minimum of like $500 for both of them. So both from Thoman and Perfect Circuit, that's another $1,000 that come every month. Again, I'm sure that YouTuber or content maker that are bigger, they do several thousand of that, tens of thousands. I'm just a small guy. Not in real life, because I'm big in real life. But again, we are start talking of few thousands of dollars that come from all of these activities. So to do that, I just have to produce one video a month for YouTube, a week for YouTube, and one video a week for Patreon. Plus, I do all of my small snippets and creative video that I keep on Instagram. And Instagram is just artsy kind of stuff. I never talk, it's just music, and it's just me sharing what is my workflow in the studio. That said, these are all the bulk of my income. The other things come from commission. Every month there's company that contact me, they want to collaborate, they would pay me for shooting a video, they would pay me to score an advertising, and my rate really change. If it's for some video on Instagram or some commercial video, I could charge something starting from a minimum of $600 for a video to a $2,000-$3,000 for a video. It depends really what is the work I have to do that. For scoring is the same. So it's a freelancing work, right? You never know if a month will be super busy. Like this month I'm now super busy. I have a lot of collaboration, and another month could be, okay, there's nothing to do. But that is the moment where I create music and where I do my art thing. The last things is like live show. Live show also bring good amount of money. My fee for a live, it's really at this point, I'm not very established as a solo artist, so it really changed and it will go up and up, hopefully. But it's another way, if you have time and if you enjoy that, to put some money in your pocket. That said, these are all the way I earn. Is it easy? Maybe it's easier than going a coal mine in it 1800 and dig, yes. Physically, I wouldn't say it's tiring. It's mentally tiring because you need to put together a lot of ideas, and you need to come every single week with different ideas and way to engage people. I was checking all the video that I did in the last year and a half, and man, it's just sometimes I'm surprised, like every single week there's something new you have to come out with, and sometimes you think like, where do you find all of this argument? I don't know, but I made it and it's fun, and I keep trying to make things fresh. And I want actually to go more into the theory and talk about process and workflow rather than just demo things. A lot of people ask me to do that, and I agree with them. Okay, moving to the next topic is like, what are my advice if you want to start a career, a creative career? And I am an expert because before I was a photographer, which was a very complex career too, but I had good luck in that. And my parents was like, no, you shouldn't do that. You should have just a work and blah, blah, blah. So I'm used to find the complex things to work on. But let me start. If you have a job and you want to switch, you say, my dream is to a musician or a photographer or whatever else. Should you just drop your job and go full in this other? No, I don't think so. I truly believe that to do greatly one thing, you have to do one job at a time. You cannot be many things, but that will come at the right moment. Don't feel the pressure that you have to give up what you have now, whatever job it is, because every job has a function, and the function is to make you survive. So don't see whatever you're doing now as something that is depressing or not putting you on a pedestal, whatever. It's like you're doing money, and you need to see whatever you're doing now a way to put your money aside to then switch to what you really want to do. So make your job work for you. When I decided I was interested in music, I started setting a precise amount of hours a day just to do music. So I had a full-time job at that moment, and I dropped it and I said, I'm gonna work 6 hours a day. And that was a great decision because the other 4 or 5 hours that I had at a day, I was just focusing on music and try to learn what can I do to make money. So after a year of that kind of life, I could move full-time in music. So the second thing, so first things is like, don't drop your job, but make it work for you. The second is like, find support. In my case, my main support was my wife. I never, and at this point, I still don't believe in myself. That's one of my biggest flaw. I always second guess myself. I always doubt about my capacity. Even when all the world would say you are the best, I would say no, I'm not. So that's something I have to live with. But my wife was there all the time and say, you should really move into music if that is your passion. And it wasn't just some like good words you say to your spouse just to make him feel good. She was there giving me support. She would say, we will make it through it. Even if we won't have any money at a certain moment, we will make it because we have the capacity, we have the skill, we have the drive. So doesn't have to be your wife, doesn't have to be your parents, because most of the time your parents will not support that, mostly because they don't understand what you're doing, they won't understand, and they might be just worried about your future. So it could be your community, could be your friend, could be your peers, or what they will be, peers. So find, let's call it a community that will support you, and find somebody that will be next to you and will drive with you and make you feel you can do this. That is really important, especially when you will feel defeated. Having somebody next to you that will be at your side make the biggest change that can happen. Then one important thing that come with community is, where do you live? The place you decide to live, it's really foundational. I was in New York. I love New York. I miss New York every single day, but it was very unsustainable. New York became, I think, the playground for financial and tech financial people. Where I was living, that costed at the beginning $1,500 a month. The last year was $4,000 a month, and eating out is insanely expensive. So sadly, it's a city that ask you a lot. I could have still lived there, but I would have the pressure to make so much more money to just afford being there. That's why I decided to move to Berlin, and Berlin life is way more affordable. It's probably a third of what New York cost. That, of course, freed my mind and make me feel like, okay, I need to do less here. And money is not anymore the main things I think every single day. New York money was like, I need to do money, and it's a city where the more money you do, the more money you spend, because it made like that, gives you everything. And here I feel we are on the same kind of level. It's getting expensive too, but you still can live off as an artist, which is a great thing. Another advice that I can give you is don't rely on your passion to make money. If I would decided to just be an artist and make money out of my music, I would have probably suffered a lot. I decided to split my persona in two, the Oora making music and the Oora as a content maker. I don't see these bad things of doing this two kind of stuff. I still sometimes have a issue calling myself an artist, but there's artists, big artists that I love, that really respect what I'm doing. So yes, I'm an artist, but I'm also a content maker, whatever. I just create stuff, and you use this stuff, I don't know, for your pleasure. Could be watching my video, listening to my music. It is all content. So whatever, call me whatever you want. But I knew I wanted to work in the music business, in the music field. So whatever I'm doing in this field, it's fine. It's just like the place I love to be. So maybe there's not just that one thing that can make you survive. So in music, you don't have just to do music. There can be a lot of stuff. You can score stuff. You can create video like I do, content. You can mix, you can master. There's so many other things. So whenever you approach a creative career, sit down and check. When I was a photographer, for example, for a long time, most of the things I would do was retouching. I was very good with that and did a lot of money with retouching. And it was parallel. If I would have decided I want to be a photographer right away, maybe that would have been a good idea, because in the long run I could have become a good photographer, a better photographer, I don't know. But I didn't want to stress myself too much and rely on just the art part to make money for me. And then the last point, and this is what is really important, to me at least, is live below your means. I always save money. I never spend in anything else than music stuff and food. Me and my wife love food, so that's the other big expense we can have. It's like restaurant. We love restaurant, but then I just buy clothing, like I have H&M things, and I don't like to spend a lot of money on transitory thing like clothing, cars, bike. I don't care about that. So if you want to save money, or you want to buy that super expensive synth or whatever, you can save. I saved my entire life, and except when I was in New York, it was really hard to save, but I made it. And so it's just like the matter of flying a little lower than what you would like, and that, of course, with the objective to get what you need, what you want in the long run. So everything that I bought, it's just like come from me working. Of course, my family allow me to study at the right moment, and they pay for my study. But since probably at this point 20 years, I live by myself, and I never had to ask anything. So again, I'm not rich. It might seem that I have everything, and it might seem, okay, this guy has win the lottery. No, it's just like working, saving, and being, smart with certain decision. And again, when you start working in the field, there's a way to get a lot of stuff for a better price, for free, for cheaper. So don't look at us in this beautiful YouTube and think, oh, they're so lucky, they have everything. No, we worked for that. And so next time, and now I'm talking to you guys that are asking me weird question. Next time that you see me sporting a $5,000 synth or whatever, don't come and ask me if my dad is rich or if I won the lottery. No, I worked like you, like everybody. It's just like I spend all of my money in these things. All right, I don't even have a car. That said, I hope this was useful and give you some hints on how to live this kind of life, or whatever you want to call it, this profession. And if you have any question, please ask. I'm always very happy to share anything that I learned in this journey, because I think it's really important. And I want to thanks a lot of other YouTubers that I talk often, that they always ready to share their experience, and that is great. This community is great. You can ask, people reply. There's no secret really, and we can help each other, like thrive, or if it's not thrive, survive. I don't mind. I'm happy as I am right now. Okay, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week, maybe with some music. Who knows? Ciao.